Okay, there's literally so much that's been going on the internet, like quite literally. And one thing that I've been super tuned into, well, I don't know if anybody watches eye candy, but sometimes I do. And also, like just shit just pops up on my timeline. But my biggest, like, I said my biggest, but the newest thing that's like literally been on my mind is the whole Piper Rockelle situation that I talked about. I believe it was in January, and I made a whole video about it, and I know you remember. And if you don't, I'll make that available pretty soon on YouTube because I posted that on Instagram already. But the whole thing that I was talking about allowing minors in the sex workspace, and Piper Rockelle literally being 17 and hanging around adult content creators. Now, when I say adult, I don't mean like, oh, you're 18 and plus, because Raquel's like 17, and you know, people graduate high school and they're like in their 20s or 19 years old or 18 or whatever. But what I'm really talking about is like adult content creators, like people that do OnlyFans or like OnlyFans content, like hanging around people like Sophie Rain or Camilla, or I'll just say the Bop House. But the whole Papa Raquel situation, or I believe that's how you say her name, like her, like, and the whole thing coming out about like a bunch of influencers talking about like her mom, like they were like, yeah, and her mom is the one that's behind all of this. It's like, duh, she's 17. Like, who allows, like, it's not allow, but you can't have 1 million followers and have like your family and people that you're like around not know that. Not only that, you really can't do that as a teenager and not have your family not support you and pretty much go far, especially the whole Bop House thing. I don't think that that's something that can be done if your parents are literally not involved. Now, I do believe that all this stuff that is happening to Piper is like beyond her control. And I feel like that's something that goes without saying. I'm pretty sure a lot of people who like, who are like aware of the situation are aware of that. But I feel like I just need to get my own observation or whatever. I feel like I need to get my own observation about the whole situation. And like, what you find is scary. Honestly, like what you find about the whole situation is honestly pretty scary. Because like looking at the grand scheme of things, it just seems like her mom makes her do a lot of things for money and like maximum profit. And a lot of people are like, oh no, but like what if that's what she wants to do? Like I would want to do that. I feel like I don't think so. Especially like just seeing clips of this girl when she's like not doing TikTok, she be like looking like she's in distress. Like, oh, she looks like she's in distress, or like she doesn't want to do what she's doing, or like she's gonna break down and cry. Like, and it's like, like I guess like poor Piper, because you know, like we've seen it happen to girls over and over again. Like this is like Amanda Bynes 2.0 right in front of our eyes, and like people just don't see it. Like it's literally like Britney Spears 2.0, where it's another little girl and her life is literally being like sold away on contracts. And you know, granted it is her mom doing it, so like you know how that can be. Oh, I don't want to, it's like, oh, like I don't want to do this, like I don't want to get my mom in trouble and stuff like that. And not only that, like I'm pretty sure her mom takes care of her, so that's like pretty much her lifeline. But like we gotta like think about like the ethics of all this stuff. Like what it's like there's no other reason to have a 17-year-old around people who are adult OF creators, like unless it's money driven. She doesn't have an OF. She's 17 years old. Like, she can't have an OF unless her mom does that for her. But I'm pretty sure she wouldn't do that, like, due to all the lawsuits and stuff going on. So I'm pretty sure that she definitely wouldn't do that. Hopefully not, because then it raises the question, like, what does that do? What does that do for, like, Rockelle's future? Like, what does that do for her? Like, literally, what does that do for her except for short-term gain right now? Like, and she's only 17. Like, it's pretty crazy. Capri, like, I forget his name. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't really know about, like, gaming streaming. I literally forget that dude's name. But, like, did you have, like, her boyfriend Capri and, like, the whole live streaming thing? And, like that whole situation. And, like, what his mom said. And, like, that's my biggest concern is, like, Piper's mental health and all of this. Because, like I said, we're watching an Amanda Bynes and Britney Spears situation all over again. I don't think nobody's realizing that or pretty much seeing that for what it is, because they're just pretty much taking what's in front of them. They're like, oh no, like it was just a prank. Like, this is just a prank. Like, this is all for fun. It's like, that girl is clearly in distress. Like, and we saw it in real live time. Like, I feel like you can fake videos, but you can't fake a live stream. Like, you see people try, but, you know, you can't really fake a live stream. So, like, it's just weird. Like, this whole fucking thing is weird. And then, like, not only is it weird, like, then you got, like, what's his, fuck, I forget the boy's name. Then you got her boyfriend and his mom, like, I guess doing pranks on Piper, like, oh, you're not black enough to be with my son, like, type shit. And at first I thought, like, when I first watched it and I had seen the clip come across my timeline, I thought that it was, like, I guess for context for people who are vanilla colored, like, if you are black, typically your mom, and I don't know about other people of color because I'm fucking black, but, like, if you are black, your mom does not want, like, your boyfriend or your girlfriend or whatever sex you're attracted to in your bed. Like, a lot of black parents don't want you having sex in their house. They don't give a fuck if it's gay sex or, like, they don't give a fuck. They don't care if it's heterosexual. They don't care. They don't want y'all laying in the bed together. They want the door open when your company's there. They don't want shoes on the couch. Some parents don't even like shoes through the house. Like, my mom, she would literally get on to me about, like, wearing my shoes in the house, and if my friends did, I would get in trouble. But, you know, instead she took a, like, that's why I don't like you to be dating white women, because when you do date white women, they don't understand our cultural concepts of, like, I don't want you laying in bed with my son. Like, she made a point that white people think that's okay. And it was weird. And Piper did not seem happy about that. And everybody was like, oh, it was just a prank. It was just a prank. But, like, I don't know. Growing up for me, it's like, I feel like my generation learned from, like, people like CJ So Cool, or, like, that's his name. Like, it is not funny to make jokes at other people's expenses. It's like, okay, it was a prank, but it wasn't a funny one. Even if you admit that it was a prank, it's like, okay, it wasn't funny. Like, and then when you sit there and look at it, you got to sit there and think of what type of long-term effect does this have on, like, kids, or like on, like, CJ So Cool. Like, he was doing pranks on his kids. Like, and I don't know if anybody remember this, but CJ So Cool, this nigga literally did a laxative prank on all his kids. So, like, he fed them and put laxatives in their shit, and, like, they were just shitting everywhere. And he recorded that and posted that on YouTube. So, like, it's kind of giving that kind of energy. Like, people are like, oh, we're making joke. It's just a joke. You know, it caused inside hemorrhaging and made my asshole bleed, but, you know, it's just a joke, you know, type shit. Like, and then I guess Piper Rockelle's predicament, it's like, oh, I don't feel like, that kind of made me feel like I wasn't enough, but I guess it's just a joke. And everybody's like, yeah, you're taking this too serious. It's like, yeah, you taking it too serious until it's you. But I feel like, yeah, that's a lot of what's literally going on. And it's literally weird. Like, all this shit literally just seems like it's just for money. Especially the whole lawsuit thing. Like, the fact that, like, this shit has been dialed up and hasn't been dialed back since the lawsuit has been happening. it screams, like, it literally screams, from Piper's mom. It literally screams like, hey, I don't give a shit about how Piper feels about this, or like, I don't give a shit about how anybody feels about this. I don't give a fuck if I get sued. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm just here for money. Like, her daughter's literally like, I guess, some type of cash cow for her. And that's a bit scary, you know? Cause like I said, like, oops, a pimple patch. But cause like the forms of entertainment that we consume is literally evolving. But like, literally with that said, like, this, like, do you not see that? Like, literally, do you not see that? Is that something, like, I don't know. I don't feel like that I'm tripping on that. But like, I definitely feel like that, like, Piper's mom does a lot of stuff to her for, like, just, like, in the grand scheme of money, quite honestly. There's really no other reason, because a lot of shit doesn't have, like, a long-term benefit for Piper. In fact, there's some shit she's gonna have to deal with, especially when she turns 18 and she's out on her own. If she's able to even be out on her own type of shit. And not to say that, like, no, I'll just say it. I feel like if you're an adult and you don't at least have the choice to go off to make your own life, you know, there's something a little wrong there. But yeah, yeah, I don't get any of this. All this just seems like glorified child abuse, and like they're getting away with it because her mom's like rich, and like also because it's kind of like everybody has these rose-colored glasses on right now. And with these type of things, I literally said something in January, like, and now there's a documentary and shit coming out about it, but like, I literally said something in January and people were telling me that I was literally over-exaggerating, and it's like, well, now look, her mom's getting sued for like 22 million, and like, just, that's the amount they settled on. Like, they settled on the 22 million amount for the abuse that she put like these kid creators through, like, about doing content with Rockelle. And they talked about a whole bunch of shit, like being on contract and how you can't make content with Piper unless you're on contract, and about how her mom will make you do weird shit and really just like control the narrative and shit. So yeah, it's really weird to watch that unfold. Let me take a moment. Oh shit. Oh. I had to find my two favorite brushes. But yeah, I quite honestly feel like that the shit's weird, and everybody's just pretty much taking a piece of this girl where they can. They're like, because her mom literally like allows it. Like, you know, her mom's in charge. And it's just interesting to watch this stuff unfold. Especially, like, I feel like that's another reason why, like people be like, a lot of times, like, sometimes when I make content, oh, they'll, like people like, oh, what about the kids? It's really up to what their parents let them fucking do. Like, if you sit there and let your child, like, melt their brain on TikTok all day, and, like, because you think that it's a kid's app, I don't feel like that it is. Like, you got to sign a contract to even make an account on these types of platforms. And when you do, you allow kids to build their own perception, and you're not there to help build that or watch that or whatever. Not saying that you should helicopter, but, like, you know, the fact that a lot of people around Piper's age don't think that this situation is that serious, it shows. But, you know, her fan base, I think they're pretty, like, mid-range, and she has, like, a weird fan base because she did all that shit with the Bop House. So now I'll be seeing her video. So, like, she has a weird, like, I guess, like, reach on the internet. You know, I see a little bit of everybody, old creepy dudes and all types of shit that, like, watch this girl. So, you know, with due time, But I feel like that this shit's only gonna get worse, like as it progresses from here, and everybody's just gonna be sitting there like, like as it happens, because that's really all that's been happening. Because one, I mean, there are some people trying to help. That's what the whole lawsuit thing is. But like, what does that do for Piper? Nothing, because they can't really do anything for this girl till she turns 18, and if she wants to. So that's, yeah, like that's literally the hard fucked truth, quite honestly. Like, that girl's mom literally sees her as a cash cow and pretty much nothing else, and is trying to make as much max profit off of her as she can, because if she's really 17, she's about to turn 18, and you know, then it'll be psychological autonomy, unless she made Piper sign some type of contract. But Piper's 17. That shit doesn't, what do you call it? It doesn't legally stand. Like, you can't make a child sign a contract. That's why you need parent guardian, like, consent for shit. You can't sign for your own self when you're under the age of 18. And it's pretty much all, unless you're emancipated. I won't forget about my emancipated folks, but literally unless you're emancipated. But if you're not emancipated, that's not gonna happen. But yeah, I don't think that, like, I don't think that anything that's been happening to Piper has been constructive, because like, it just seems damaging, especially that quote unquote prank that they did in front of like millions of people. Like, you know, that just seemed mean. It didn't seem nice. It didn't seem nice, and it didn't seem like something that she wanted to do. But you know what people say, who's in on their own prank type of thing. But yeah, like I'm saying, I don't think that any of this stuff that's happening to her is like constructive, yo. Like, there's no really other clear way for me to say it. The only person that it benefits is like her mom right now, because Piper can collect a check. I mean, she's 17. But you know, there's laws around child labor and even the social media stuff. But like I said, Piper's only 17. How is she gonna sue? How is she gonna sue for that right now? Like, that'd be something she have to do when she's 18. So, you know, it seems like a lot of scrambling going on because of all the crap that's happening. I definitely feel like all this shit is like at the very least, like I said, it's not constructive. Like, me personally, I just don't get the point. It's not constructive, and she's being treated like a cash cow. Like, the only reason why her mom is doing this is for profit. Like, there's no other good constructive reason. And, you know, especially the way she responded to the lawsuit, literally it must be because usually when people get lawsuits and stuff, it's enough to make them, like, back off. But now that's a lie, because, you know, when you're rich, why does it matter? It's money. The biggest consequence is actually putting them in jail. But, you know, a lot of those kids just want to be really compensated for the work and damages that they've been through. And also, I think that they're trying to, in some way, help Piper, whatever. But, you know, I feel like, yeah, that nothing that's been going on for that girl is like constructive, like further than money. But, you know, I feel like that you can take that with that whatever you will. Like, if you think money's constructive enough to let a 16-year-old dance with adult content creators that literally pop their pussy for the internet, and as somebody that is an adult content creator, like literally like what the fuck are you doing? Like, it's what the job inclines. And like giving that type of press to like a 17-year-old. Sorry, it's a little funny, but yeah, this whole thing's literally a hot mess. And then it's just a hot mess. But yeah, hold on, let me put my eyeliner on. Yeah, that's pretty much my whole thought on like the Piper thing and why this stuff is happening to her. She has literally no autonomy, and her mom is literally using her for money. Like, it's quite obvious, even though they already have a lot of money. But we know the rich, they just definitely want to get richer. I mean, who wouldn't want to be rich and keep their riches? But at the expense of your daughter? You know, I don't know about that. But, you know, let me know what you think, though. I would like to know what you think. So leave a comment, leave a like, and also let me know what y'all think about this topic. Like, what are you thinking? Like, do you think that Piper Rockelle, that her mom is making her do all of this stuff for money? Because it's beyond clout, like, at this point. I don't know, like, would you let your daughter, who's like underage, make content or make TikToks with people who are adult content creators on literally OnlyFans? Like, would you do that? Like, do you see any benefit to letting like somebody who's underage dance with people who are part of something called the Bob House? Sorry. But yeah, just let me know.